I've promised this to you guys before that if you ever make a video suggestion in the comments, I will listen to you and I will eventually get to it. And this is exactly what I'm doing today. So thank you to whomever suggested this video for me to film. You asked about noble wines and what they are, and can you film a video about that? And I jumped on it because quite honestly, I always knew about the noble grapes. I know some of them, and I thought at the time I recalled the exact count of how many there were, but after I did my research, I've learned something new myself, and I've realized that I actually didn't know all of the noble grapes, and some of them were a surprise to me. So again, thank you, and please keep leaving those comments, keep leaving any video suggestions for me if there's something that you're interested in. Welcome to my wine diary, everyone, and if you're new to this channel, by the end of this video, if you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up and then subscribe to my channel. Tons of videos, all are wine related, so if this is your jam, so will be my channel. And if you're my returning subscriber, then thank you for being here yet again for this video. So on today's topic, we have noble grapes, what they are, how many there are, why were those grapes selected to be the noble grapes? So let's go ahead and find out. For all I know, you guys, the viticulture itself and the history of winemaking is noble on its own because it's such an art in a way to create wine. So winemaking, to me, viticulture, it's a noble art on its own. I think it's such a beautiful process, and wines are just so elegant, right? That all of these special terms and special verbiage that we use, such as noble grapes, just fit right in. So when we think about noble grapes and where those come from, what is the history behind them? The history of noble grapes is really kind of intertwined with the history of winemaking itself, and centuries of tradition and innovation, craftsmanship, whatever you want to call it, really have elevated these specific varieties to this status of being noble grapes. I like to think of them as being subjects of poets and artists and winemakers. So people truly think of these grapes so highly that they've used them in other art forms that they practice. So let's go ahead and jump right in and find out what these 18 noble grapes are. We will start our list with the red wines, and here the first one is Pinot Noir. So Pinot Noir is the lightest of the red grapes out there, and it's a very tricky grape to grow. I have a whole video on Pinot Noir, so please check it out. But yeah, it's one of my favorite grapes. It's not easy to grow, and it's honestly a pain in the rear for a lot of winemakers, but it's just such an incredible grape that's used in a lot of wine blends as well, and in production of different wine styles. So it truly, truly deserves to be on my list as the first one for the noble grapes list. The second noble grape is Grenache or Garnacha. So this grape here I think is a great example of how red wines can be light and very fruit forward. So if you haven't tried Grenache yet, this is the one to try. The third noble grape is Merlot, and Merlot can be lighter or it can be bolder depending on the method that it's been made with. I think of Merlot as smooth tannins and fruit forward red wine. Definitely one of the staples on all of the stores' shelves. Check it out. Noble grape number 4 hails from Italy, and that's Sangiovese grape. It's the main grape variety used in Chianti Classico, and Sangiovese grapes are definitely bolder than the ones that I just mentioned before them, than their predecessors. So it's very cherry forward wine, definitely more complex tannic structure to it too. Absolutely beautiful aromas to it too. So Sangiovese, cannot miss this one. Gotta try it. Noble grape number 6 is Tempranillo. Tempranillo is a red grape variety from Spain. It is described as earthy with higher tannic structure to it as well, and some people describe some tobacco notes when it comes to Tempranillo. Wonderful grape to try, and definitely a huge staple in Spain. Noble grape number 7, surprise that it made it on the list, is Cabernet Sauvignon. So Cabernet Sauvignon is perhaps the most known red grape variety in the whole wide world, and probably the most grown one as well. Cabernet Sauvignon has an amazing complex structure to it, amazing aging capabilities, very well balanced wine, very aromatic as well, used in ton of different blends, used in production of very, very many different wine styles. So Cabernet Sauvignon, if you haven't tried that one, I don't know what we're doing here, because Cabernet Sauvignon is definitely at the top of the list of being most popular on this planet. Noble grape number 8 is Syrah or Shiraz, depending on where in the world it comes from. But Syrah offers bolder, darker fruit profile to it, actually lighter tannins than Cabernet Sauvignon, but very nice and long, smooth finish to it as well. Now, again, depending on how old our Syrahs are and where they come from, they can offer notes of blackberries or tobacco, maybe hints of black pepper to them as well. Very versatile wine and one of my absolute favorites too. The last red grape variety on the Noble Grapes list, number 9, is Malbec. And Malbec is also very widely known in the world. It is actually similar in its profile to Grenache grape. However, here, instead of like red fruit flavors that we have in Grenache, we have more darker fruits and darker berries. So blackberries, blueberries, but otherwise a very similar profile. Now that we're halfway through our Noble Grapes list, we're going to switch to the white grapes. And the first one here is Pinot Grigio. So Pinot Grigio is definitely very citrusy, zesty, some people would even say. It's got a very high acidity to it, so it's perfect for pairing with foods, and it is number 1 on our list of 9, the back 9 of the Noble Grapes. The next grape on the list is Riesling. Riesling is definitely a noble grape. It's a chameleon grape. It varies in its flavor profile and its aromas from dry to sweet, from, apricots and peaches to being zesty and pretty high in acidity. So you never quite fully know what you're going to get with Riesling unless you're very familiar with the area that it comes from. But to me, that grape is so unique, probably the most unique white grape variety out there, and I would 100% recommend exploring Rieslings and comparing them, coming say from Germany to some other countries in the world. Germany is just one of the staples, so try it. Let me know if you have, and how do you like Riesling? The next noble grape is Sauvignon Blanc. Sauvignon Blanc is extremely known in the world, and it is very herbaceous. It's very light, high acidity to it. Some people describe Sauvignon Blanc's flavors are very green pepper-like, green bell pepper-like. So it's a wonderful grape. It's grown in very many different countries in the world as well. Definitely a staple, definitely worth trying. When I think about the next noble grape, I think of flower bouquets just being all around me, as if I'm frolicking through a flower medley. Chenin Blanc. So this is the one that's not as famous, I would say, that some of the counterparts on the list. Nevertheless, it's an incredible grape. You unfortunately don't see it on shelves as often as I think it should be displayed on shelves and sold in the stores, but like I said, nevertheless, it's a beautiful grape, ton of flower aromas to it, flowers, lemon zest, and pretty high acidity to it as well. 4 more noble grapes left, and the next one is Gewürztraminer. So Gewürztraminer is pretty peculiar because it's an off-dry to sweet white grape that is very comforting. That's how I would describe it. So it's a very comforting wine because it's got those notes of honey, some notes of ginger even sometimes to it. So all of that makes it a very unique tasting wine, again, depending on how long it's been aged or where it comes from. The next noble grape is Sémillon, and Sémillon is dry. It's medium bodied. It's got some lemon notes to it. Pretty simple wine in my opinion. I will also say don't come at me because I haven't explored Sémillons that much, which I definitely need to do. But so far, that's all I know about them. And they're on the list. Now, if you guys haven't noticed, I've been building up my white wines here on the list from the lightest ones to now medium and full body profiles as well. And when I spoke to you about Chenin Blanc and I said that it's like frolicking through a flower medley, I would say that this next one, which is my second to last on the list of all noble grapes, Viognier, is also very, very very promoting of frolicking through a flower medley, in my opinion. So the flower bouquet here is just overwhelming, both on the nose and on the palate. It's a medium bodied wine, and yeah, definitely a really nice one to try. We cannot finish the list of all noble grapes without this heavy hitter. Number 18, and the last noble grape on the list, is Chardonnay. Chardonnay is a full-bodied white wine that's dry and delicious and very various and very different depending on where it comes from. I've just made a video just last month about Chardonnay. It's on my channel, so please go check it out. Chardonnay, all you need to know about it. You will see how passionately I talk about Chardonnay and just how much I want for people to love it. Back in the days, there was actually a movement called anything but Chardonnay. People just decided not to drink it for a while, and I think that was a very big mistake, to be honest. But hey, it's back in style now. People are enjoying Chardonnay. People love Chardonnay with all sorts of foods and for all different occasions. So number 18, and a definite heavy closer here, being on the list of the noble grapes. What would I like for you guys to take out of this video is really the fact that trying all of these staples, trying these noble grapes is an adventure on its own. So please step out of your comfort zone, and next time when you see one of these noble grapes on the menu in a restaurant or on a shelf in a store somewhere, give them a go and just embark on this discovery little mission and see what other grapes do you like. You know, if you're a wine lover, if you want to be a wine expert or just know about wine a little bit more than you currently do, definitely explore. Exploration is the name of the game here. You will learn by trying different things you've never tried before and things you've never even thought about trying before. So that is my one piece of wisdom for you today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And until next time, cheers everyone.